hidden protocol. The hidden protocol. Now this is something that changed my life, and it happened, I'm not gonna lie, in July of this year. It happened in July of this year. And there's a long story. I'll tell you in another video of my past of whatever gone on. But this story right here is something that I have to get out to you guys and let you know because it's very, very important. And I don't care about money. I don't care about anything but helping you people and helping us as a society become one. And the things I'm gonna tell you, I gotta put a disclaimer out there first of all. I'm not a doctor. I'm not gonna tell you to do drugs. I'm not gonna tell you what type of drugs to take. I'm not gonna tell you any of that. All I'm gonna tell you is what I did. That's all. This is all. I'm gonna tell you my story. Take it for what it's worth. It is all true though. I could put that on my sons that this is an all true story. Okay? I was going through my trials with the brain waves and the brain states and the different waves of brain states. But theta, beta, alpha, delta, things like that. The different wave states. And I was using psilocybin as I closed my eyes to get to the consciousness. When you close your eyes, instead of like when people are, there's different dimensions when you take hallucinogens. You get to different levels. You take a little amount, you might start to giggle. You get a little cold, chill. You take a little bit more, you're like, oh my God, the walls are breathing. Things like that. Like you'll start to see like colors are beautiful. The colors are bright. They pop. They look so gorgeous. All the colors are magical. You think you see these little things, and that's all fun and games. That's all fun and games. But that's child's play. That's child's play. See, me growing up, I was a horse. They called me a horse because I could take the amount of medication of a horse. That's just me. I'm a 6'4", 220-pound man, and I could take a lot, and I did take a lot. And I never took a drug in my life until after I was 20 years old. Never took one drug. And when I did take drugs, I was always addicted to the ones that I liked. I just did them until I was done with them, or until there was a problem and I had to stop. But psychedelics was something I never got into. I tried mushrooms in the past. It didn't do nothing for me. But I tried ecstasy, and when I was taking ecstasy, it wasn't just taking one pill of ecstasy. I was taking 8 pills, 9 pills, and I was hallucinating. I was seeing things that were not there. I was like trees were turning into people, the walls were turning into like my brain was associating things that weren't there with things that weren't. That was a completely different type of hallucination. That was a different type of hallucination. And my brain waves were not obviously in theta wave. I don't know what brain state my wave was in when I was on all of those pills. But I do have to say, for a warning, when I did all of that, all of those pills, I was doing them all the time because I loved the way they made me feel, and it depleted my brain. It really depleted parts of my brain. It made me stop making serotonin and all the dopamine, all those feelings that you get flooded with when you take this medications and these pills. And if you abuse it, your brain really physically changes and it adapts, and you start losing those synapses and those connections and neurons that connect to those receptors, and you lose it forever unless you take that medication again. And that was bad. That happened to me. It takes a long time to repair itself. It really does. So I was clean off of that, and to get clean off, well, wasn't clean. To get off of that, I started taking pain pills, painkillers, because I felt like crap after taking the ecstasy. So I did the pain pills, and then after the pain pills, it turned to OxyContins, and then after OxyContins, they started getting way too expensive, and then, the regular story, you found heroin, wow, I found heroin, and that was back in 2012, something was always wrong with my brain, and I knew it, and I always felt like I was taking drugs, not just for fun, I wasn't taking it for fun all the time, I was taking it because I felt like crap all the time. I did not feel normal. Something inside of me did not feel right, and I knew it. You know what I mean? There was intuition inside of me, or I knew something was wrong, and there was nothing I could do about it. But when I took these drugs, they blocked that feeling. So that's what I like, the fact that they blocked the feeling. Until it got to the point where you got to physical dependency, and you physically need to take the drug. And that's a terrible place to be. A terrible, terrible, terrible place to be. So that's where I was at with that. Then I had to go away to rehab. I went away to rehab. I met a boy named Keith. Keith was a lot younger, 7 years younger than me. He was 7 years younger than me, and me and him were the first two heroin addicts that went to this farm up in New York. It's where police officers go in, it's a hidden rehab where people go where they don't want it on their record that they went to rehab. I don't know. It cost me five G's to go there. I went there. I stayed for 3 weeks. I was supposed to stay for 4, but I got it right away. Like I think, their method was if you help people, just help people, do service for people, and do good things for people, it'll build up your confidence. And each time you do something good, you build up your confidence. And the whole thing's about building up confidence, knowing you're doing the right thing. Because each time you do a drug, your brain, your subconscious is telling yourself, oh man, I'm doing the wrong thing, I'm a bad person. Oh man, I'm a bad person. Every time you think of yourself as a bad person. But if you do service and you do help, it builds up your confidence. That's why they say make your bed in the morning. Because, I did the right thing. I made my bed. I cleaned my room. I did something for my girlfriend. I did something for my kids. You just do something nice, and it'll build up your confidence. And you do it every single day, more and more and more and more, and then you start to feel a lot better about yourself. You won't need drugs. I promise you, you won't need them. And that's what happened to me. And that happened for a long time. And what happened it was like I said, I had a brain tumor, and I had that removed. And at that point, I was on a methadone clinic. After that, I wanted to get off of all drugs. Period. I didn't want to do anything anymore because I felt like, honestly, that pituitary tumor was releasing hormones and telling my body that it needed some type of drugs, and I think that was it. Because as soon as I got out of that surgery, I wanted to stop everything. So I did methadone for this. They say you're supposed to be on it for life, and I was on it for about a year and a half, and then I was at a psychiatrist. I had PTSD after all of that, so I started seeing a psychiatrist, and they prescribed me Xanax and every type of antidepressant in the world, and none of them work. So I don't care what you say; they're all fake. And people say, "Oh, they work." They don't work. They don't even do what they're supposed to do, and what they're supposed to do doesn't even make any sense. It's not even scientifically proven to work. And they just pass it because they want money. All of this is money, money, money. But that's the story of that part of it, and I just started rambling off again. But you want to know the method to get to the collective consciousness and to meet the creators. Well, it all starts how I was saying with the brainwaves, and I'm going to tell you about it when you join and click the next video.